Yes, sir. 5 more years of Luka magic is inked and on the books. Let's go, MFFLs. Are y'all ready? Yo, what is going on, everybody? Lindy End Zone back in the building. It's been a minute, but I am here dropping buckets for my Dallas Mavericks first and foremost. If you are new to the diversity of fandom that I bring to the table, a guy that loves his Mavericks and a diehard Eagles fan, if you like that kind of diversity, I'd love to have you a part of the End Zone fam, and all you got to do to achieve that is hit the subscribe button. I will talk more on the accomplishment in a separate video, but we hit 200, y'all. Like I continue to say sometimes, man, I just didn't go in with you know a very high set of expectations, and to continue to hit milestone after milestone. It's unbelievable, and you know I may make the content, but you guys are what make my channel what it is. So I'm not here without y'all just listening to me, and I thank y'all so much for that. But without further ado, I got to get into talking about the man of the hour here for the Dallas Mavericks. Our boy, our face of the franchise, our superstar, Luka Doncic, has signed his rookie max extension, 5 years, $207 million. Oh, it feels good to have him locked in, y'all. I'm just like, I don't know. It's almost a speechless kind of feeling. The way the Mavericks organization has like how they executed it. Mark Cuban and company, Dirk Nowitzki went, head coach Jason Kidd went, Nico Harrison, as well as others, Luka's agent. They all took a visit to Slovenia, where Luka is still stationed around, where he's still stationed at post Olympics. They wanted to do this right, and they wanted to go there to, spend time with Luka in his home territory, see what it's like there, and out of that kind of respect, to go and present him the deal in that fashion. It was a great representation of the organization, and putting Luka like at the center of their heart in that matter was amazing. It was talked about in their press conference over there. Multiple nationalities were involved. Zoom calls were involved. Current reporters that were there were involved, asking questions and whatnot. And then, not two questions necessarily, but one question that ended up turning into two parts. It was a question I was asked, I think, maybe twice in different wording. They basically, talked about, what the Mavericks need to take the next step with Luka, and they asked this to Luka personally, like the qualities that he looks for in teammates, or the kind of team that he wants built around him. And he mentioned two things that are pretty important, and I kind of expected Luka to say, and it goes towards the concept of, when I see other Mavericks fans talking about, them wanting the team blown up and getting this free agent, getting that free agent, we should trade this guy and release that guy, and and it doesn't always necessarily work that way. In the means of the answers of Luka talking about it, he says two of the most important things that he looks for in building a team is, number one is chemistry, and number two is the trust of his teammates, and he thinks of it as a brotherhood. And I 100% agree with him. I mean, we all seen what that meant when he played for his country in Slovenia, how well connected they were, how well of a unit that team played together, with Luka as the centerpiece. Almost just couldn't get over the hump of getting a medal in this year's Olympics. We already know he'll be back in 2024 for that, but yeah, I mean, he brought up two very important qualities, and like I said, I kind of expected him to. So, you know, when people necessarily want to complain about the being complacent and re-signing Tim Hardaway Jr. and re-signing Boban and saying that Boban doesn't do anything and he got too much money and really 2 years, 7 million, stop it. Like, come on, really? That's nothing. That's nothing. And then, you hear Tim Hardaway Jr. turn down $88 million, something around that kind of number, from the Pelicans to stay in Dallas to play with Luka. I mean, that counts for something. And it's very important when you're building a team. Like, you can't just reset the chemistry every year in terms of free agents or that of the matter. Like, you gotta, there's a camaraderie there. There's a continuity there. Like, that you just need to continue to build upon, and those kinds of moves are very important. They just set the stage for what's to come. Now, Dallas has done a pretty good job in free agency so far. Depth was an issue last year. We talked about this. Them adding Sterling Brown and Moses Brown, Reggie Bullock. Those two in Sterling and Reggie, 3-and-D type of guys, that can offer a little more defense that the Mavs struggled with. Getting more shooters around Luka to just build on those assist numbers and having those extra guys that can knock down shots. I mean, him signing this contract, it's only the beginning. Did we not just see how long it took Giannis to get a title with Milwaukee? I mean, what has it been, like 7 to 9 years, something like that for Giannis? I mean, he's been in the league at a pretty young age, like 18, 19. He's now 26, 27. He just won his first title for Milwaukee after staying there and committing his career to the Milwaukee Bucks and wanting to win a championship for them. Luka is in a prime position to do the same thing. But we need to take it one day at a time. Like, this team is not going to substantially improve overnight. And because of the fact that we don't necessarily have a lot of capital to work with, post Porzingis trade, draft capital, it makes it a little more difficult. And then you're just dealing with the players that you have, or the cap that you have to work with. So, I mean, for some people, let's just pump the brakes here. The most important thing is we got our guy locked up. That's the most important piece that's out of the way. And now let's continue to build around him properly. And, I think Mark Cuban has an idea on how to do that. They talked about, it was brought up in the presser. They talked about if there's still involvement with like Goran Dragic and stuff like that, if the Mavs are still interested in him and yada yada, and they couldn't really say anything, or they'll get fined by the NBA, as Luka pointed out. And they also asked Mark Cuban on what he thinks of the job that the Mavs have done in free agency so far, and he says he's satisfied, and he thinks the team got considerably better, which it did and it didn't. I mean, obviously, Mark Cuban's looking at this roster with the rest of the front office and Nico and Jason Kidd and Dirk Nowitzki, and they have to imagine that there is a lot of depth at the 4 and 5 position right now, if you consider everybody in that mix, and Cauley Stein and Dwight Powell and Maxi Kleba and Dorian Finney-Smith can play the 4. You bring Boban back and Moses Brown. Like, there's Porzingis. There's a lot of bodies there, and you need to drop it down a little bit. So we'll see what happens. It is rumored that Lowry Markkinen is in that like registered interest for Dallas. Around like 11 to 15 million dollars a year for 4 years. So we'll see how that pans out. I'm not necessarily a fan of it. I think Lowry Markkinen is a downgraded Porzingis without much of the injury bug, and he is 24. He's around the same age as KP. He's a little bit younger, but he is a piece that you can build up a little bit, and he is a piece that you can have grow with Luka. Kind of I guess a low risk, high reward sort of thing. If you want to invest in him, that would cost substantially less than the contract of Porzingis right now. So we'll see. Goran Dragic is still out there. I mean, they can still fight for him. Hell, they may end up trying to bring both of them in, but we'll see as it gets further down the road. All in all, I don't think the Mavericks are done with free agency. I think they still have um, some moves in that regard that they can possibly make. Just because Cuban said he's satisfied at the presser and that they've gotten considerably better in his opinion, that doesn't mean they're done in free agency. They still have some money to play with, and who knows what they do from here. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments on everything we just got done talking about with Luka's extension, the press conference reaction, what has been said amongst the group of individuals that were there. Leave all your thoughts down in the comments. I'm so happy, man. My guy, our franchise guy, is locked up, and I can't wait to continue on this journey watching the Dallas Mavs with Luka as our superstar. But I'm going to get out of here for this one. This has been Lindy End Zone. As always, fly Eagles, fly bleed green. MFFLs, go Mavs. We love you, Luka. Take care of yourselves, everybody. And I'll see you soon.